Welcome to Discover Calaveras with Sharondipity, the show where I uncover the charm, character, and hidden gems of Calaveras County. Join me, your host, Sharon Schlegelmelch, as I explore local businesses, meet the faces behind the storefronts, and shine a spotlight on the people and places that make this region truly special. From cozy cafes to breathtaking trails, family-run shops to unforgettable adventures, we're discovering it all, one story at a time. Thanks for tuning in. Let's explore together. Today, we have our guest, Elena Belli. She's the manager of the Calaveras County Airport. Thanks for coming on the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great, and especially that the airport day is coming up right around the corner. When is the airport day?
Airport Day will be on Saturday, May 3rd from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m.
And so it's open to the public and...
Yes, it's free for the public to attend. We'll have model airplanes on display, all sorts of aircraft, food vendors, community partners such as the CHP and CAL FIRE on hand.
Wow, so it's free. That's awesome. And just tell me a little bit about your background. How many airport days have you conducted?
Well, last year was my first airport day, and unfortunately, our weather last year was a washout. We had rain, cold temperature, and clouds that limited the visibility so that no aircraft were able to fly. So this year looks like the weather will be a great day. So this I will count as my first official airport day with good weather.
Oh, well, I'm hoping for good weather too. So how did you become the airport manager at Calaveras County?
Well, I've grown up in Calaveras County, and I've been a county employee for just over 20 years. And before I became a county employee, back in my youth, I worked for CAL FIRE, back when it was CDF, at the air tanker base in Columbia. And my administration team came to me and asked, they said, the current airport manager is looking at retiring. She was in her 80s, Kathy Zancanella, amazing lady. Anyway, they came to me and asked if I could help her with some federal grant reporting and said that, we know you like airplanes. Maybe you could go out to the airport and give her a hand. Kathy retired not too long after that, and so they approached me and asked me to be the airport manager.
That is great. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Kathy, and she's such a legacy at the Calaveras County Airport.
It's big shoes to fill. I joke that that's Kathy's airport, and I just get to work there.
That's funny. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Airport Day. So there's going to be. You said that some people can go and take a flight.
So yes, the EAA, which is our local flying group, they are part of a nationally recognized organization. They have pilots who donate their time, they donate their aircraft and their fuel to provide charitable rides. So people can go to the airport on a first come, first served basis, and the money that they raise go back into the community in form of scholarships for high schoolers that want to learn to become pilots.
Wow. So even our local high school students could apply for the scholarships.
Exactly. We always welcome people to get involved with the EAA Flying Club or the other Motherlode Flying Club to get their interest into aviation, to show that they're really committed to the aviation community, and then they can apply to these scholarships, and the scholarships will pay for their training to get their private pilot license or even to get some more certifications beyond that.
Wow. Now, you said that it's a first come, first serve for the flights. What time on May 3rd will that start?
The tickets will go on sale at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay.
And we hope to give to at least 100 rides that day. Of course, it's dependent on the weather. It's dependent upon the pilots make sure that they feel everything is safe to go on with flying, and how many people show up that day.
Huh. Now, if they, what else is there to do besides the flights? Are there any clubs that are going to be there?
Yeah, so the Motherlode Flying Club will also be there to talk about what their club membership offers. The businesses that are on the field, so we have two major aircraft repair and maintenance shops, Renner Aviation and Calaveras County Airplane Company. They'll be on hand, so people can take a look inside their shops and see what they offer. We have cutting edge avionics. I heard that they are going to do a geocaching activity that's fun to go to. We're going to have community partners such as the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office, our local CHP, and CAL FIRE will be on hand to see some of their equipment, and specifically CAL FIRE looks like they'll be bringing their Black Hawk helicopter, which they call the Firehawk. They will be on call, so if they get a fire, they'll have to leave, but it's something that you'll be able to see up close, and that's something that not everybody can see on a ground level.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like a great family event for people who are interested in avionics, or maybe just to enjoy the view. I was out at the airport the other day, and that view is amazing.
The view is one of the best, I think, in Calaveras County that anybody can go to because it's publicly owned property. The Calaveras County owns the airport. We ask people to stay in the parking lot and to not go out towards the tarmac. But from the parking lot, you can see Fowler Peak, you can see Blue Mountain, you can see north to Jackson and see the towers that are outside of Jackson. You can see Telegraph Hill, which is down outside of the city of Sonora. So you probably have close to 20 miles in one direction that you can see, even the crest of the Sierra Nevada, some of the good days.
Wow. And you could probably bring a picnic lunch and enjoy those beautiful views.
Yes, we have picnic tables at the airport that people can sit and bring their lunch and enjoy watching the planes come and go and enjoy the fine weather and the amazing views that we have to offer.
That's great. And then on airport day itself, will there be any kind of vendors there?
Oh yeah, airport day. Well, we like to eat food. We're going to have La Esperanza taco truck from right here in San Andreas. The Cowabunga ice cream truck, which is pretty famous, I think, in Calaveras County. It's one of the only ice cream trucks I know of, and we get excited when they come around. We'll have wood-fired pizzas from Pizza Be Good, and then there'll be hot dogs and lemonade from Little D's Dogs. So that we've got some kind of food treat for everybody.
That sounds like a great time. And what about any kind of souvenirs or T-shirts?
The EAA will also be selling commemorative T-shirts for the Airport Day 2025. And of course, you can't have a T-shirt in Calaveras County without some sort of frog logo on it and an airplane logo on it. The Model Airplane Club will be on hand. I'm not sure if they'll have any models for sale, but people can also look and see what other types of hobbies they can get into if maybe they're scared of flying or they don't want to get into an airplane.
It sounds like it's going to be a fabulous day. We just hope the weather cooperates. That's
right. Weather is always the number one factor, I think, in any type of aviation.
Yeah. Well, so when what will they be able to view at the airport? Will they are they going to be able to go into any of the hangars?
So we'll have the avionics shop as well as the maintenance shops usually have their hangar doors open. They're cautious about letting people in too much just because of their equipment is really sensitive, because they are regulated by the FAA when they perform maintenance on airplanes. But it's something for everybody to be able to get to see that there are businesses that are thriving at the airport. Before I started the airport, I had no idea that so many pilots fly to Calaveras County just to have their airplanes worked on at our Calaveras County Airport. And there are close to 20 employees on any given day working in those shops. Also on airport day, they'll be able to see the grounds of where people can come in and get fuel for their airplane. We have a 24-hour-a-day self-service fueling station for the airplanes. And then also the airplanes will fly to Calaveras County on airport day just to see other airplanes and to show their airplane off. We'll see some vintage airplanes that are built in the 1940s. We'll see modern aircraft. We will see experimental aircraft, which are basically a home-built kit in a way. They're still overseen by the FAA and just as safe. They're just a different looking kind of aircraft.
What a fantastic way to spend a Saturday. So how many hangars do we have at the airport?
So at the airport, we have approximately 65 county-owned hangars that individuals can rent for non-commercial businesses, non-commercial purpose. Sorry. So those are people. We have people in the community. We have doctors. We have truck drivers. We have attorneys. We have some just everyday people. They own aircraft and they want a secure area to park their airplane so it's not in the weather, the heat and the cold, rain and the wind. So 65 privately rented hangars, and then we have a few hangars that are privately owned.
And so, so you were saying that the airport is publicly owned. So how do you get money to operate the airport? I mean, I imagine you get fees for the hangars, but how else do you
Right. So the hangars are rented out for fees. That's correct. We do get some FAA funding, but it's not in the typical manner of FAA or the federal government just giving us money. It's all on a reimbursement, on a grant, and it's specifically targeted towards the runway, the taxiway, the navigational aids. So there's not money given to the airport for upkeep of the general facilities. The airport also makes a little bit of money from the proceeds of the sale of fuel. And then there is a cell phone property on site where the county gets rent from the cell phone company.
Oh, okay. I wanted to also ask you about student pilots, because is there flight instruction happening at the airport?
Oh, gosh. I think that we have a very active flight instruction community at our airport. There are 2 flying clubs, and there are numerous flight instructors associated with the airport. And an individual who's interested in becoming a pilot, even if they've never been in an airplane before, can come to the airport or call and make an appointment for a discovery flight, so they can at least get experience in a small airplane before they devote their time and their money to make sure that's something they do. And then after that discovery flight, they want to move forward, they can be put in communication with a flight instructor. They can rent an airplane and learn to fly at Calaveras County, from walking in the door all the way up to, we have an on-site pilot examiner, and that is a person designated by the FAA to give student pilots their final pilot license or check ride.
We have that right here in Calaveras.
Yes, we do.
Wow, that's amazing. And is there a minimum age to become a pilot?
So they usually start around age 16. You have to be at least 16 years old in order to fly solo in an airplane, and then you have to be 17-year-old to to get your private pilot license.
And so, how many pilots or student pilots do you think we have that maybe get certified per year?
I would say that we have close to 100 students that come through Calaveras County in a year. And that is anywhere from the very entry-level private pilot license, that's their first level certification, as well as their rating to become a seaplane pilot, float plane pilot, a commercial airline pilot, to become instructors themselves, or just fly a commercial rating.
And now, is Calaveras Airport itself involved in any of the requirements for other student pilots?
Yes, so Calaveras County is, people come to Calaveras County while they complete what they call their check ride. So when a student pilot is in the process of getting their full license, they have to fly at least 45 miles from their home airport so that they know that they've got navigational skills and can navigate to other areas that they may not be familiar with. And quite often, we have students that fly here from Merced, Stockton, Sacramento, and other airports across Northern California.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, I can't imagine being a pilot, or especially that young to pursue being a pilot. That's just amazing that you can do that right here in Calaveras County. So the other thing I wanted to ask you was, you mentioned the airport being available to everybody, really. But what are the hours of the airport?
So the landing strip itself is available 24 hours a day. So we're not a towered airport. The pilots are all self-controlled. They talk to each other on the radio. We're not staffed 24 hours a day, but anyone who's flying through, I know I live locally in San Andreas, and sometimes in the middle of the night, I will hear an airplane fly over, and I wonder if they're coming to the airport for fuel. There are runway lights that will come on at night on demand for the pilots so they can see where to land safely.
I bet that must be an amazing sight, those lights.
It's really pretty at night.
That is.
Calaveras County, before Columbia and before Jackson airports, had LED runway lights that can be seen from 40 miles away when you're up in the air on a clear night. I've been really fortunate to go on a night flight and to see how beautiful the airport is at night.
I don't know if I've asked you everything I could think of asking you, but how would someone get involved who wants to be more involved with the airport? You know, because if they come on airport day on May 3rd, they're going to say, gee, I want to come back. How do they get involved in doing something?
So the two flying clubs that are based at Calaveras County, the EAA, the local chapter 484, or the Motherlode chapter, as well as the Motherlode Flying Club, are great places for anyone who are interested in aviation to start. They have the tools and they know the people to have flight instruction, to where to go to become get the ground instruction or the book learning, how the written procedure goes, and put you in contact with the pilot examiners if they get to that point that they need an examiner. It's also a great club just for social activities. They sometimes offer scholarships, if not at the local level, also at the national level. There are so many aviation communities in Calaveras County, as well as across the United States, that can help pretty much anyone who's interested in aviation get into the aviation community.
And could someone call you and get more information?
Of course, they can call me. I'm there Monday through Friday. Typically, I'm there 9 to 5 p.m., except for county holidays. I'm a county employee. But yeah, I'm always happy to give out information on the flying clubs or other resources that the airport can provide.
And what number would they call you at?
They would call me, it's in the phone book, area code 209-736-2501.
Oh, that sounds great. I think what I want to do is go up there and have a picnic myself, because it's just so beautiful, and that's available even if it's not airport day. People can
Yes, the picnic tables are there. We ask people to just stick to the picnic tables and to not wander around the property. But there's trash cans, and then if it's during the week, I'm there. The lobby's open so people can come inside, use the facilities, get a drink of water, say hello.
Well, and I would love to see the airplanes take off and land.
Yes.
And how many airplanes do you think take off and land per day about?
Well, depending on the day and, of course, depending on the weather, there are some days where I might only see 5 or 6 airplanes go, and then there are other days that I lose count. I would guess at least 50 or 60 airplanes come and go in a day. And I expect that airport day may be one of those days that it's high capacity.
Wow. And typically, what type of airplanes are at the airport?
So our airport typically caters to smaller passenger airplanes that are privately owned. So airplanes that hold a passenger and one pilot, or one pilot and 3 or 4 passengers. They're smaller. They're typically known as Cessnas or they're Pipers. But then there are also the experimental aircraft, which are a home-built aircraft, but it comes in a kit, but they're also overseen by the FAA. They are just as safe as regular commercial aircraft. They just sound different because of how they're monitored.
Oh, that's so exciting. Well, I'm sure our viewers can't wait to come out to the airport, especially if they've never been to the airport in Calaveras County, and especially on airport day.
Exactly.
May 3rd, 10 o'clock, if you want to get first come, first serve.
Yes, get in line for those tickets. They are in high demand because we only have so many pilots and airplanes that donate their time and energy for that day. And that's a lot of work for them involved with the takeoff and landings. But I love that Calaveras County Airport is so accessible. We're about halfway between San Andreas and Angels Camp on Highway 49. Beautiful parking lot, easy to navigate facilities, and it's one of those hidden gems of Calaveras County.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Elena.
Thank you for having me.
And Well, thank you, viewers, for joining me. I hope you've been inspired to explore, support, and celebrate the amazing people and places right in our backyard. And if you know a hidden gem that we should discover next, reach out to Public Access Television by calling 209-754-4021. Until next time, keep wandering, keep wondering, and keep discovering with Sharondipity.